I am Jason Randall. I'm from Illinois, and we've been fishing on the Big Pine Creek today, and what a wonderful surprise it is. It's a real gem. I farmed in Illinois for a number of years, dairy farm, beef, a little bit of everything. And so I have an affinity and a love of the land. We bought our farm a couple of years ago, and it drains into this. It's part of this Big Pine Creek watershed. And so knowing that the water that passes through our farm also ends up down here, it raises the stakes of what you're doing, on each individual farm, I think. Indiana's in really solid shape. It's on solid fiscal footing. That's a big attractor. You've got stable economics here. You've got stable land rent, stable land prices. So as an investor, that's a real plus. Like most investments, you have to put a little bit into it. And you want to make sure that in 10 years we have preserved that 6 inches of topsoil, that we've done what we can to invest, intelligently. You can have a nice yearly revenue. You can have an appreciation in your net worth, if you will. The investment will be greater in value. But I think along the way, it's a lot more fun than owning stock. You can come down and you can walk the land. You can watch the crops grow. I'll bring my grandkids down here and let them walk through the rows of corn and let them have that sense of connection. Let them build that relationship with nature and agriculture, and then teach them the values of that. And I would say that's one of the best returns on investment, and that's what I would tell a potential land investor is it's more than cash rents. It's more than appreciation. There's a lot more value to land investment where it's serving such a needful purpose. In my opinion, land, they're not making any more land mass, but they're certainly making more mouths to feed. And so I don't think there'll ever be a problem, investing in land. I think it's a pretty secure investment. 80 acres today will be 80 acres tomorrow. So I'm looking for that. I'm also looking for a relationship that I can establish with the operator. And that relationship that I'm looking for would be with someone who is a progressive farmer. I'm looking for a long-term relationship, and I'm looking for a partnership in trying to build the quality of the land and then to improve the environment as a whole. I would rather have that relationship than an extra $10 an acre in land rent. I would rather be able to pick up the phone and talk to the operator and know that I'm supporting a farm family. Farming has certainly changed from 30 years ago when I farmed. When we had a whole different economic situation. But it is still a producer and his family that are drawing their income and their livelihood from the farm. And I think that partnership is a blessing to both. Having that type of a partnership where it's just not a voice on the phone that you talk to once a year, and it's a very two-sided relationship. I think that any conservation land management practices really, it is not going to return tomorrow. I think that some of the input costs and some of the effort is today. But I think the returns are, at least to that landowner, are probably a couple of years out. But I think the real return is a generation away. And I think that's where what we do today will pay dividends to them. It's stewardship, not ownership. Who can own land? The Indians said it was impossible. The land belongs to everyone. But you do have a responsibility, because you won't be the only one to own that land. You're going to be in temporary, everyone's a temporary owner. and so what you do today impacts a lot of other people.